What's going on, Giants fans? I'm John Opinion Sports, and it's chop suey time. Here come the cuts, the purge is upon us. The Kyle Rudolph releasing was just a matter of time. I am super bummed out that Rudolph didn't work out here. I honestly thought Rudolph could be a nice security blanket for Daniel Jones. I knew he had lost a step, but I thought the Giants could still get some production from him, especially in the red zone. For whatever reason, it just did not work out. The line was a wreck. The scheme was god awful. Rudolph didn't look right. If he was on a bit of a cheaper deal, maybe he survives the season, but $6 million is way too expensive for the kind of player he is right now. Rudolph had a 63.5 PFF grade. That's not garbage, but it's not good. It's purgatory. That's exactly what it is. Rudolph managed to post 26 receptions for 257 yards and one stinking touchdown. That just ain't gonna cut it. I get he might have gotten one or two, possibly more, if DJ stayed healthy, but your stat line is your stat line at the end of the day. And listen, this draft is stacked mid-round tight ends. Jeremy Rucker, Jake Ferguson, Isaiah Likely, tons of guys. I keep going and going. But I still go back to just being so disappointed with how this ended with Rudolph. I thought he was the second best signing behind Adoree Jackson last offseason. Rudolph is such a great guy, and he handled everything here with just pure class. I have nothing but respect for him. I hope he lands somewhere where he can get back on track. That injury, I can't remember the name of it, but Greg Olsen also went through the same thing, and he had a resurgence on his second year after that injury. So that is something that maybe you see him regain a little bit of his speed. But listen, once a Giant, always a Giant. That goes for Rudolph as well as anybody else that comes here. And even though we didn't get the production that we wanted, I'll have fond memories. And we did see much less of Evan Ingram. So it wasn't all bad. Let's just say that way. The other guy that got released is Devontae Booker. I thought there was a good chance of him getting released, but I kind of thought he would be a cut later on. I don't know why. I just figured maybe the Giants would maybe sign somebody in free agency and then just view him as expendable. I'm okay with this. Even though Booker is a solid backup running back, you can just find decent running backs for vet minimum all day long in the NFL. And remember, Joe Shane already brought in a running back from Buffalo, Antonio Williams. Haven't looked at him really a lot, but I've heard he's a big bruising kind of player. Booker had an okay PFF grade. He posted a 65. He had 145 carries for 593 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he averaged 4.1 yards per carry, which was more than Saquon Barkley had. He's also decent in the passing game. He had 40 receptions, 268 yards receiving, and a touchdown through the air. So 861 total yards, not bad. We'll see what direction Joe Shane goes. Maybe the guy is already on the roster. Maybe he grabs a running back in a draft. I had a bunch of Giants fans complaining on my mock drafts that I didn't take a running back. So maybe, you guys that had pointed that out, maybe that's the route they go. But me personally, there's just so many good running backs that you can get on a vet minimum. It's hard for me to draft a running back in the first 3-4 rounds. 5th round and back, I'm cool with it. Like the same thing we did with Gary Brightwell last year. And there's another question. What the hell's going to happen with Gary Brightwell now? Does he even make this roster? I get he was brought in to be pretty much a special teams guy, but what's up with that whole deal? Now, as for the whole drafting running back thing, say if Saquon gets traded, I'd be okay with a running back earlier in the draft. I'm just waiting for the big cuts here. James Bradberry is probably next. Maybe they'll try to rework his deal. Rework. I can't say that. But I don't see him doing that. Why should Bradberry take a pay cut, a big pay cut at that? At this point, he'll make $12 million on the spot when he's released because he's going to get all his guaranteed money right then and there, and he can go sign a juicy deal somewhere else. He can cash in big time this offseason. So why should he do that? So I see no reason for him to take a huge pay cut, kind of similar to what happened here with Kevin Zeitler. They tried to work out a deal with Zeitler. Zeitler said, nope, release me or pay me. And that's kind of how I see this going. I'm not going to run through all of these guys I think get cut, but I do think this is just the tip of the iceberg. Buckle up. Here it is. I'm sure why we haven't seen the bigger names drop yet is they are probably trying to shop them, or rework them. I don't know why I have trouble with that. I'm not much of a speculator kind of a guy. This was more of an update video, but the Rudolph release was an obvious one and a painful one for me. I'm very excited to see which way Shane goes to fill that tight end room. Do you guys think we'll sign a decent tight end? Maybe we draft one, maybe both? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Running backs as well, I'd like to hear about them. Do you think they'll roll with Antonio Williams as the backup? He did come from Buffalo. They got a real good close look at him. Do the Giants draft running back? Whichever, let me know in the comments. But I think I'm more excited about this tight end than any other position other than the O-line. I am super excited, and I'm really eyeing them guys in the middle of the draft, and I want one really bad. Jake Ferguson, Jeremy Rucker, give me one of them guys. Yes, give me. But thank you all so much. Like up the video if you love the Giants. Yes, I'm using emotional blackmail. That's a new thing to the channel. But subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Stay warm, stay safe, and peace.